The two Koreas are holding their fifth round of high-level talks of the year at the truce village of Panmunjeom today. The talks are to check on how well South and North Korea are implementing their September summit agreement, dubbed the Pyeongyang Joint Declaration, and to rubber-stamp schedules for follow-up talks in various fields. For more, let's connect live to our Unification Ministry correspondent Oh Jung-hee, who's standing by at the Office of Inter-Korean Dialogue. Jung-hee, fill us in.
Ji-yoon, the talks began 2 hours ago at the Peace House on the South Korean side of the border village of Panmunjeom. As you mentioned, this is the fifth round of high-level talks between the two Koreas this year alone and comes just a month after the current leaders of South and North Korea had their third summit of 2018 in the North Korean capital. Take a listen to what the leading delegates had to say.
We've met quite often, and now it feels quite normal to me too. It's very fortunate that inter-Korean relations are improving. I'm sure people in the South and North are feeling delighted to see this happen.
We've had frequent talks and contacts, but it shouldn't simply be about having more meetings. They should be useful meetings with practical results. I hope today's talks set specific schedules and work items and deliver good news to the Korean people and citizens around the world.
All right, so Jung-hee, the two sides have a lot to talk about. We know this because of all the action plans stipulated in the Pyeongyang Joint Declaration. So just walk us through what's on the agenda today.
Well, Ji-yoon, it seems the two sides will focus much of their attention on their railway and road connection plans. I mean, vice ministers in charge of transport and railroad are attending from both sides of the border. And Seoul's unification minister, as he left, confirmed to the reporters that the matter will be discussed for sure. South and North Korea stipulated in September's summit agreement that they hold a groundbreaking ceremony within this year to kickstart construction for connecting railways and roads. But there are concerns on whether that can really happen this year because the U.S. is firm on keeping sanctions in place. Well, to that, Seoul's unification minister says that South Korea has been closely coordinating with relevant organizations and countries, which refers to the UN Command and the United States. To remind our viewers, South Korea initially planned to send a research team to the north in late August for inspections, but that failed because the UN Command disapproved of it. Other than transport links, the two Koreas could try and set the schedule for the Red Cross talks to deal with war-torn families issue. In September, President Moon Jae-in and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un agreed to open a permanent facility for war-torn families to meet, as well as enable video meetings and video messages. With the vice sports ministers of the two sides taking part in today's talks, Seoul and Pyongyang could kickstart discussions on forming joint teams for 2020 Summer Olympics and launching a joint bid to host the 2032 Summer Olympics. A concert by North Korea's art troupe could also be on the table as they're visiting Seoul this month as a reciprocal visit following a performance by South Korean artists earlier this year. Well, after today's talks, Ji-yoon, we could see some specific dates set for other summit follow-up inter-Korean discussions on railways, roads, forestry, or even the newly added medical care field. Ji-yoon.